Hi, I'm Dan Thomas, the Gray Internet Dude. And I'm often asked by my students and by my team members and actually by just people that I meet, Dan, I really want to get into internet marketing. I want to get into changing, my lifestyle. I just want to get better. How do you do it? And really, there's no secret about it. First of all, don't believe these get-rich-quick gurus on the internet that say if you buy their program, it has all the information you need to make $1 million in 2 weeks. They talk about how they have made $1 million and such as that, but they always leave out the part about they've been doing it for 20 years. They've built up an email list of 500,000, and they're putting out $100,000 a month in advertising, to make that $1 million bucks or whatever. And that's really the thing with internet marketing, is that when you first start out, you're kind of going to suck at it, because most people, when they first get into it, the reason they get into it is because they need dough, or they want to get out of a terrible situation, a crappy job or something like that. And then they believe these gurus about getting rich quick, or my program is the answer. Now, most programs do have pretty much everything you need, the basics, to get going. But I have found that they're really lacking on teaching and follow-up. Now, they give you the program, and the program has, the squeeze pages, the autoresponders, the web pages, the basics that you need to get started. And yes, you can get started with those and not have to invest a lot of other money. However, if you listen to the real people, the internet people like Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn and those, they'll tell you right off the bat. If you ask him, well, Jim Rohn isn't alive anymore, but he was one of the greats. But and the Maxwells and all that. But like with Tony Robbins, what he'll say, in order to change your life, you have to change the way you're doing things, and that means changing yourself. It's just like going to the gym and working out. We all know what it takes to lose weight, gain muscle, and get in shape. It takes work, and you have to go to the gym. And if you're not willing to do that, and you're not willing to change, then nothing else is going to change. So, just like with the weight loss, a magic pill is not going to make you lose weight. I mean, it might help a little bit, but every single one of those things, you have to do a lot of other stuff. You have to change your diet. You have to work out. And so, you talk, like Tony Robbins will have, a lot of quotes, and almost all of them have to do with, you need to change yourself first. And that's the tough part. Getting up in the morning to go work out, getting up every day to, say you have an internet business, but getting up an hour every day to write your blog or do your content or, make your video. I mean, that's really what it takes. You have to change yourself. Jim Rohn said that he wasn't the greatest. He's known as one of the greatest salespeople around. But he said when he first started out, he was not a very good salesperson. So what would happen is he would go up against these other sales guys that would make out of 100 people, they'd sell 10. Well, the way that he beat them was he wouldn't stop working until he made 20 sales, no matter how long it took or what it took, and that made him the best. So those other sales guys say they work 5-8 hours a day. He'd work 10-15 hours a day. That's what it takes. It takes you changing yourself to make your situation better. I mean, everybody knows the old saying, you keep doing the same old thing every day, you're going to get the same results. It's insane to think that you're going to get a different result by doing the same thing. And another quote by Tony Robbins is, it's really, really simple. If you put out no effort, you're going to get no results. Everything's going to stay the same. You put out a little bit of effort, you're going to get a little bit of results. But you put out massive action, you're going to get massive results. And I like to add to that a little bit, and I say massive effort that is consistent. Because, it takes a little bit to start moving that pendulum. That ball that you're rolling, at first when you start pushing that thing, it's not going to roll very easy. But once it gets momentum, then it gets a lot easier. So that massive action consistently, and then as that ball starts rolling to the other end of the pendulum, it gets easier. Then you don't have to work as hard. And that's really the key with internet marketing is when you start out, yes, there's going to be a lot of work. Now, it's not ditch digging hard work. It's not, lifting heavy bales and all that kind of stuff. But it takes effort. It takes effort. And even if you don't see any results in that effort, say in the first month, 2 months, whatever, 3 months, after that, the pendulum's going to start moving, and then you're going to see a little bit of results, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and pretty soon, you're going to see that massive result that you've been hoping for, and you're going to be able to get out of that crappy job, or you're going to be able to make that extra little income. And maybe you don't want to do it full time. I know people. He's a fireman, and he loves his job. But they have some time off, and in his time off, he wanted to make some extra money. Now he's gotten to the point; he's been doing it a little bit. He makes about $3,000 a month. He doesn't put in; he puts in maybe an hour a day, maybe even a little less. Now that he's gotten going, that's all he wants to do. Now, when he retires, maybe he'll do more, but that's all he wants to do. He wants enough to put his family on a vacation, pretty much when he wants to. And I know another friend of mine. She started a knitting blog. Now I don't know anything about knitting, but what she did is she first started this knitting blog just because she liked to write about it, and then she started doing videos about it. And she had no inclination to make money off of it, but then she got people starting to call her and ask her questions about it, and so she started selling little hints and little plans how to make hats and scarves, whatever you make when you're knitting. And now she makes her complete total income from her knitting. Well, she has a YouTube channel, a Facebook channel, and a blog. And it took her probably about 5 years, but she makes a 6-figure income on a knitting blog. And that was just a hobby, and she still loves it. And that's the only reason she does it. It's not work to her. Now, she does put in some time on it every day, but that's basically what you have to do. Is you have to change your outlook on it. And really, I mean, you can get all the books you want about changing. I'm a big believer in reading. I do audiobooks and such, and I get the abbreviated versions so that I get the main concept of it while I'm driving or whatever, and it puts you in kind of a mindset. But all of them, the bottom line says you have to be the one that change it yourself. It's just like somebody that stops smoking. They try 4 or 5, 10 times, but eventually it's them. They have to stop. You have to change yourself. So if you're ready to change yourself, you can change your situation. And now, nobody said it's going to be easy, but that's where you want to find a program where you have, mentors and helpers and people that'll stay with you. These gurus that say you're going to make it in a day, stay clear of those guys, because it's not. It's going to take work, especially if you're starting out and you don't, nobody has a lot of dough. I mean, I didn't have a lot of dough when I started. So anyways, basically it comes down to changing yourself. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informational and educational and maybe even entertaining. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button over there, and don't forget to hit the little bell so you'll be notified every time that we put out a new training video or informational video. Also, maybe give it a thumbs up and share it with somebody you know. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later.